Did you know that you're not allowed to use a calculator on the MCAT or the chemistry section of the DAT? But unfortunately, both the MCAT and the DAT expect you to solve questions related to this equation, which is pH equals negative log the hydrogen concentration. So fellas, I have a question for you. Who here remembers what a logarithm is, let alone how to solve such questions just mentally without using a calculator? I think none of us. Well, in this video, I'm going to go over tips and tricks to be able to approximate the answer so that you'll get it correct every single time on test day. We're specifically going to cover how to calculate the pH of a solution given the hydrogen concentration, how to calculate the pOH of a solution given the hydrogen concentration, and finally, how to calculate the pH given the number of moles of hydrogen. So that's different than hydrogen concentration. All right, let's get started. So here the hydrogen concentration is 5.8 times 10 to the negative 12 power. Our job is to calculate the pH. So we're going to use our equation, pH equals negative log the hydrogen concentration. So we're going to plug this in, 5.8 times 10 to the negative 12 power. Now, instead of trying to actually break this down and do it, we have this approximation where you can drop the exponent. So let's drop the exponent right here. Get rid of the negative sign, so just 12, and then subtract this number from the exponent. So you're going to drop this number, 5.8, but you need to move the decimal place once to the left. Now what you end up with is 12 minus 0.58. This is going to be approximately 11.4. Now notice how I said approximately, because it turns out on test day you don't have to be 100% exact since the answer choices are not going to be that close to one another. So if you just go with 11.4, that's close enough to the actual answer and you're good to go. I guarantee it. All right, let's move on to the next task we were going to go over, and that's how to calculate the pOH of a solution from a hydrogen concentration. Well, we're just going to build on this example over here. So we started off with our hydrogen concentration. You figure out your pH, and then you want to know the formula pH plus pOH equals 14. So now just plug in the pH over here. So 11.4 plus pOH equals 14. Subtract 11.4 from both sides, and you are left with pOH equals 2.6. Finally, let's go over the last scenario I talked about, where instead of giving you the hydrogen concentration, they give you the number of moles of hydrogen. It's a trick they like to play on the MCAT. So let's take an example. So the question asks, a 10-liter solution contains 6 times 10 to the negative 7th power moles of hydrogen. What is the pH of this solution? So some students will jump straight ahead and say, okay, drop the exponent, which is 7, and then subtract this number from it, but move the decimal place once to the left, so you get 0.6. So this ends up equaling 6.4. But of course, this would be incorrect, because over here, they gave us the number of moles. So we first need to calculate the concentration, and then we can apply this formula over here. So what we're going to do is, we're going to take the concentration formula, which is the molarity equals moles per liter. And so plug in chug, you have 6 times 10 to the negative 7th power over 10. When you have 10, it's like you're saying 10 to the first power, so this equals 10. I just did this so that we can calculate the exponents over here. So when you're dividing exponents, you're going to subtract them from one another. So negative 7 minus 1 equals negative 8. So this is going to end up equaling 6 times 10 to the negative 8th power. And now we can plug this into our pH equals the negative log of 6 times 10 to the negative 8th power. And so now drop the exponent, 8 minus, drop this number, 6, but move the decimal place once to the left, so that's going to be 0.6, so it ends up equaling the pH equals 7.4. All right, I know this was a confusing topic. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section down below. And oh yeah, don't gatekeep this video. If you have any friends studying for the MCAT or for the DAT or their general chemistry class, share it with them. It really helps the channel grow, and I would really appreciate it. All right, love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.